Well, it's a good Saturday morning after a rainstorm here in Lake Havasu City, and this is the Pima Wash bike path that leads to the lake, and we're coming upon the Pima Wash Rock Garden, the Unity Garden. It was created starting in 2011, and in 2018 the artwork portion of this garden began with the making of 3 waterfalls to catch water for the palourdi trees in the One Love Garden, with donations from people, friends who donated pots, and then a little howling to the moon. I found it Consign and Design, a local shop here. Friends have donated memorials to their family members and friends. Just so many heartfelt aspects of this garden. It brings peace, it brings smiles. It brings the bunny rabbits and the road runners and the quail and the brittle brush that gets enough water this year that we're now starting to blossom underneath the palourdi tree right by the circle of friends donated by a good friend. Oh, and then the new mushrooms popped up. Oh my gosh, do you see how fun those new mushrooms are? 3 mushrooms right there on a log. Oh, and here's the puppy dog, man. The puppy dog is a favorite here, and oh my gosh, this puppy dog, I call it a rescue dog. All those rocks were rescued where ATVs had kicked up a perfectly good hillside prior, and so I rescued these rocks that got kicked out, and eventually each rock came together. And this is the rescue dog. This is the puppy dog. It's full of love here. This whole garden is just full of love. Oh, here's one of the very first guided creations. I don't create them. The rocks come together. This has been here since 2018, and the rocks just come out and come together. And then all the gnome doors. There were 6 gnome doors donated about 6 weeks ago from an older couple. We talked about seeing doors carved into the tree trunks in England when we were both over there at different times, and for the gnomes and whatnot in the fairylands. And so this became a new gnome village. This section here, this is only a couple months old now. And oh, it just is, everything in here wasn't here 6-8 weeks ago. So it becomes a little magic place, that's for sure. There's magic in every corner of the garden. All these little marble tops. A gentleman, I'd say in his 80s, he's the one that donated the 6 gnome doors. He made these. Snowbird would bring them back and forth. It was his collection of doors, and they were going back to the North Country, and said he'd just rather donate to the garden. Even the sign was made by him. But I got the doors and found the pieces of wood that became their homes. Oh my gosh, and some of them were stone homes. And that one's got a stone roof and a door into the post. Just so much fun. Oh, and here's the big bunny rabbit. This bunny rabbit's been here for 6 years. Most people don't even notice that it's a rabbit. But it's the basis anchor that's been here for a long time. In here is also the lighthouse that flashes on and off at night with solar lights. And X marks the spot. What? X marks the spot. Of course they do. You know, you gotta have a treasure chest where X marks the spot. Oh my gosh, it is a magic little place here. And oh my gosh, there you go. There's a long path here, the Hilltop Farm. Beatrix Potter bought the Hilltop Farm in 1905 up in the Lake District of England, north of Liverpool ways. And she wrote Peter Rabbit, but from her proceeds, in 1905 she started buying farms to stop development and keep them as working farms. And so this garden is somewhat of a tribute also, has a tribute in it to Beatrix Potter, who wrote Peter Rabbit. There's no other Peter Rabbit. And it is a farm. It does have cows in it. And one day, a little paper bag was left, and all of a sudden, in one fell swoop, the garden had a harvest of fruits and vegetables. Oh my gosh, there's fruits and vegetables in here. Look at that. They all popped up in one day. Anonymous gift to the garden. And we have a grounding circle here. This is the barefoot grounding circle. This is sand from the Bill Williams River, and barefoot grounding circle. So this is, people will step in and get grounded, face the moon or the sun, and then they'll leave a design of their own making. And of course, we're about halfway down the garden, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Of course, the original sign here. Pima Wash Rock Garden. And one of the favorites of the whole place is this cool village. People just step up here and just wonder, wow, what do they see? What do they think when they see this collection of rocks with pathways leading through gateways, leading through archways, leading to magic. It kind of changes up the walk here in Lake Havasu City when people come by the rock garden. They're stopping more, slow down a little bit. Some zip by on their bikes and their skateboards, and so do I. But there's 1111. Whoop, I passed up 33. Ancient designs. There's beautiful little setting here. A donation from a girl that examined my eyes in July. Donated the teepee and the bunny rabbit. They find their right place here in the garden. Granite and shrine. Almost a pagoda style. And so many rocks. There's so many snakes in the garden. There's a big long snake right around there. Oh, though, so 222. Little kid about doesn't quite come up to my waist. He was and his mom were here, and I said, "You hear the train coming through here lately, Uriah?" He said, "No." And I said, "Well, what does that say?" He said, 222. I said, "No, 222. There comes a train coming through the garden." Oh, and wouldn't you know it, the next day, the very next day, I'm at the swap meet, and what do I find? Oh my gosh. I found a locomotive. I found a cool locomotive, steam engine. And you know what? That's a modern toys brand. It's made in Japan. That's considered an antique. And I got it for $7. It says 10 on it. But it goes along with the Jeep, Volkswagen Bug. Those were both left by someone down the other end of the garden, so I made this little diorama to show that we even have a gas station rock in here. Somebody gave me a gas station rock like 6 years ago. Hey, can you use a gas station in the garden? I said, yeah, someday. And so someday was 6 years later when a couple of these cars were left, so I made this whole diorama. You know, here comes the Jeep up in the rugged part. The gnarly tree, which is an upside down root. Snakes of message snakes in the garden. Whoa. Oh my gosh, look at it. There's an iceberg. An iceberg in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the Mojave Desert. There's an iceberg. Ah, it's got a penguin family. Oh my gosh, my two young friends down the street that donated these rocks, they were in the mulch for a couple of years, and now with the redesign of this garden, it now has its own ice float, iceberg, the whole family. And then someone left, a gentleman came down with a box of bling spiders. Oh, and the nest fell over. Let's put the nest back up. So there's the nest. It's a true nest. You just have to have a rock in it to stop it from blowing away, and of course I put it in that little tray just to keep it from deteriorating. So this is just a path I'm going on up the road. This was running deep with a lot of water yesterday during the rain. That's why I'm out here filming today, is because it's so fresh and the mulch is dark. It gives a better contrast to the colors when more of the mulch is wet. Let's just step over here for a second. Okay, I'll keep walking. Somebody's coming down the path. There's stories all through this garden. There are so many stories. This is the oldest snake in the garden. The snake's grown a little bit this year, but it's been there since 2018. My favorite sign. Didn't know what to write in this. Found this piece of wood. Held on to it for a few months till I figured out it was told to me what to put in it. Listen to the children. Listen to the children. Another little gnome village. A magical, whimsical place this is. And there was smoke coming out of the chimney a minute ago over there, but it was incense burning. The heart, that's one of the very first features of the garden. It's been filled in this year with rocks donated from Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. This garden is full of magical things. Peace, love. And it even has its own Yellowstone Falls. That's what I call it anyway. It's Yellowstone Falls. You can kind of see it when you back off. It's got a little flow of Yellowstone. And as you come down, you can see people are walking down the way here. And then we come around and got another Yellowstone Falls. Down this side. Down this side. And now we come back for a shot. And this goes clear across the